Well, 1991, you get released.
Yes.
How did that feel to walk out of that prison cell?
Well, like I said, it was always a story with me. After getting charged with a food strike at Otisville, they took all my good time away and put me in Louisiana. And I did my full time. They says, you're getting released today. I gave all my stuff away. You give your sneakers away. You give your commissary away. You give whatever you have, shirts. So I went to receiving and discharging that day. And I says, I'm Charles Zito, 120-32-054. You always remember your number. And they said, you can't go today. We can't release you today. I said, I maxed out. You can't hold me no more. He goes, there's a bus strike. Greyhound's on strike, and you got to wait till Monday, and we're going to fly you home.
Okay.
I said, you got to be kidding me, man. That was my life story. So I had to stay another 3 days. So now it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday I go home. I had to go get some of my stuff back, and you know what? I stayed in my cell for 3 days because other guys know you're going home, and they'll shank you, do whatever you want.
Right.
You know, whatever they want, just to keep you, start with something, you go to hole again, get more time. And I stayed in my cell for 3 days. I got out. They sent me to the airport. I flew to LaGuardia Airport, and my wife and daughter were waiting there for me, and that was a big thing, you know?
Yeah, those last few days can get deadly. I remember hearing stories where a guy was leaving, so he gives his radio to one inmate, and another inmate got mad because he thought he deserved the radio.
Yeah.
And he ended up killing the guy over an argument over this radio that he didn't get.
Yes.
So he never got out. So
you
see what I'm saying? It's crazy in there sometimes.
It's crazy in there. There's no rules in there.
No.
And like I said, the guys who are doing time never getting home, they don't care about taking your life.
Yeah.
It's nothing to them.
Yeah, what do you do? Triple life?
Hey, what are you
I'm
gonna
already
do?
doing double life. What's the difference?
What are you going to do? I'm here in my life. I just got 2 more bodies on me. A third's not going to matter.
Right. Well, so now you get out.
Yes.
And you're still a Hell's Angel.
Yes.
But
I had 2 years non-association. I couldn't be around anybody. I couldn't be around any felons. I couldn't be around any Hells Angels. I couldn't be around anybody.
Got it.
It didn't even matter if they were never arrested before. I couldn't be around.
So you couldn't actually be a Hells Angel during this time?
No.
Okay, but by 1994, you were back with the crew. You were back with the Hells Angels by 94.
Yes.
There was a situation that happened in Rockford, Illinois, where I guess a motorist tried to cut into a motorcycle procession during the funeral of Lamont Monty Matthias.
No, Lamont was a Hell's henchman.
Okay.
He died a Hell's henchman. He had a motorcycle shop, and a rival club went in there and shot him to death and stabbed him and everything. So the Hell's henchmen were trying to become Hell's Angels. But Monty was still a member of the Hell's henchmen when he died.
Right. He was killed by an outlaw?
I don't know who he was killed by.
Say.
I know.
Right. But the motorist that tried to cut in to this procession ended up getting shot in the leg. And I guess you were questioned over it, but ultimately he ended up not pressing charges, so you were let go.
No, I was never questioned.
You never questioned?
Yeah, I wasn't there. Okay. I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there? Okay, well.
No.
Wikipedia, is throwing you into a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of bullshit on that internet, man, Right. But I wasn't there. I wasn't there for that. And I never made his funeral, Monty's. Another guy who got shot to death on his way to, was sitting at work in his van having coffee, was 4x, and he got shot to death. And I wound up going to his funeral. There was
another.
Then, after the funeral, of course. No, I'm sorry. This was a different thing I'm talking about. But I went to his funeral. I never went to Monty's funeral.
Okay. There was another situation where you were with a group of 20 Hells Angels, and you guys got arrested at O'Hare International Airport.
Yeah.
Basically, they had you guys under surveillance, and you and 2 other drivers, were charged with speeding, and the passengers were charged with disorderly conduct. They claimed they found some white powdery substance, but no weapons.
There was nothing in it.
But the case was ultimately dismissed, and you guys sued, right?
What happened was we went there when the Hells Angels finally earned their patches. I'm the one who brought the patches there with 20 other Hells Angels. We, celebrated with them. We had 3 different vans. And we were leaving the party, and 2 vans went one way, I went another way. They got stopped by the toll booth by all the feds and everybody. I make it back to the rental, return, gave the truck back, and we're walking through the airport, and the next thing you know, a bunch of guys came out with shotguns and everything, put us on the ground. You're under arrest, you're under arrest. Then we found out the other 2 vans, they were already in jail. We got there, and they tried to say there was no Hells Angels allowed in Chicago.
Is that even legal?
So, well, it wasn't legal.
Yeah.
But they were just breaking our balls.
Okay.
So they held us there all day and everything else. And I says, we're going to sue. And we wound up suing them, and we won $250,000.
Right. You got 9,000 of that.
What?
They say you got 9,000 of that 250.
Yeah, well, half goes to the club and half goes to the guys who are,
Exactly.
Yeah, so guys, they will have what they do. But we wound up suing them because, of course, it was illegal. There was no signs. That's what I said. Show me a sign where it says no Hells Angels allowed.
Well, yeah, I actually looked it up. The Netherlands are the first country that actually made being a Hells Angel illegal in the country. Now, other countries like Germany would outlaw certain factions, but not the whole Hells Angels. But the Netherlands is actually illegal, and the Supreme Court actually confirmed it at one point. So you cannot be a Hells Angel legally in the Netherlands.
I don't know. I never went to the Netherlands.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter to you. But yeah, it's just interesting.
But it does happen throughout the world. Everybody has their own has their own laws. But like I said again, I quit the club over 20 years ago.
Exactly.
And to keep discussing the club,